Being a 24-year-old loser is okay. I think that social media has warped our sense of reality. If you go online, you'll see young success everywhere. There have always been successful people in the world, from movie stars, athletes, musicians, and business owners. But before, there was much more separation. The few elite that made it through. Yes, we would see them in interviews or read about them in the paper, but they weren't everywhere. Limited to only be exposed to if you had the patience to get to the 5th page of the daily newspaper or listen to the 1-hour talk show. Now when you pick up your phone, the algorithm may well as be injecting other success straight into your veins like a hydration IV, keeping yourself going while you stare at the clock for your next 15-minute break. When I was 24 years old, you could have labeled me as a loser. I had a job, but it was at GameStop. I was making $13 an hour, and my portion of rent was $700. I had a car payment of $250 and about $150 for utilities and phone. Not to forget the growing credit card balance with a minimum payment of around $100. This left me with about $300 for food, gas, insurance, and anything else that was needed. There was not much left over each month. I saved about $50, and I had no health insurance or retirement contribution. I was living paycheck to paycheck like 60 to 70% of young adults do today. Every day, I had to make a decision of what I could afford. Was it purchasing groceries or paying to replace my spark plugs in my car? Eating a burger for lunch across the street cost me little over an hour of my life to enjoy. It's not fun having to skip out on anything. I was in an emotionless trance of going through the charades of work. This is how it was for me, and there wasn't much I could do about it. I skipped college, and I was destined to work retail. I was a store manager in Nevada, making decent money for a 20-year-old living in a small town. But when I moved to California, I took a demotion to assistant manager that came with a pay cut and higher living expenses. Most of my friends had gone to college. Their parents paid for it or helped them out with student loans and living expenses. I had no such help, and I bet most of you are in the same boat I was in. Little guidance to navigate the world of a young adulthood in America. It could be tough, and no one is coming to save you but yourself. For me, I used games as a carrot to keep me going. Months would drag with no releases, but there was always something coming. The next game was my golden ticket out. It was going to make me happy and forget about the current situation I had been in. It felt like living in the game We Happy Few, where my joy pill was the next release, and it kept me sedated enough not to snap. Things got a little bit brighter for me in September 2014, with the release of Destiny, Bungie's first attempt after completing their work on Halo Reach. Games can distract us from our real lives. I was barely scraping by, just going through the motions at a job I had been at for 6 years. But with Destiny, I was the hero, protecting the last city with other fellow Guardians. This created false progress for me, a distraction from my current situation. I poured all my extra energy into that game, gearing up to be ready for the Vault of Glass raid when it released. Games can be a healthy hobby. It's more affordable than most other hobbies and can bring you closer to friends. But I fell in the trap of using it as an escape. I wasn't worried about the piling credit card debt or looking for ways to leave my job. It's okay to fall into this for a limited time when you're burnt out, but you have to eventually come to face the facts. I was a 24-year-old loser, and that's okay. We are all on our own timeline of growth and success. You just have to recognize this and start making change. I didn't find it naturally. It was an 8-year relationship breakup that woke me up from my trance. Building something can take years to do, but you can lose it all in an instant. One day, I was going home to my apartment after work. The next, I was sleeping in my uncle's spare bedroom. It hit me like a wall of bricks. I did not want to live in my uncle's for long. The veil of work was lifted, and I aimed to get a new job. I purposely didn't unpack my Xbox and spent every night after work applying for jobs. It took me about 2 months after looking to find one, and I would start at $16 an hour and moved up to $17 after 6 months, if I did well. I know it doesn't sound like much, but that's a 23% increase compared to the 2% I was getting at GameStop each year. To make significant gains, you have to get out of your comfort zone. This is not where you want to be for long. We all have down spells and moments of coasting at work, but we have it in us to change for the better. It's okay to lean on games as an escape for a little while, but sooner or later, you have to come back and work on the real game we call life.